Okay, next speaker that we have is Adam Kahn.
Hi. I wanted to address the Satanic Invocation that was supposed to be said at last week's council meeting. And I'll start with a little bit of a confession. When I signed up to do this, I did not realize that it had actually been, he had withdrawn from last week, and so I thought this was going to be a response. And I was going to come down here with a fair amount of fire and brimstone and responding to that. That is not obviously necessary now because it didn't, but I still want to issue a very serious warning on this subject. If you go forward with this, it won't be good. This is the type of thing that may not seem like much to us, but it's very important to God. And he will see this and he will notice this. Now, I could give a half-hour theology lesson on this. I don't think this is really the appropriate forum or setting for that, but I will say, I'll leave it at Galatians 6:7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. And as you sow, so shall you reap. It's a fairly well-known verse, but I think that it's the most important one here. I will simply say, I've certainly had my areas of disagreement with this council over the last few years. I don't think that's really a secret, but, this is not a bond. This is not TNCs. This is not the short-term rentals. This is a lot more serious than that. And I just want to urge this council and the city government to be extremely careful in how you handle this situation. I understand that it is fraught and politically sensitive, so I'm sensitive to the fact that you have pressures coming from you from various directions, and I get that, but I just want to urge a lot of caution in how you choose to move forward with this. And I can answer any other questions, or if anyone wants to follow up for a deeper discussion, that's fine. But in the meantime, just be incredibly careful.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I posted on the austincouncilforum.org draft ordinance regarding council meeting invocation offerings. Did you notice that on the council message board?
No, I have only really seen the press coverage of it. I haven't looked at the message board.
That's austincouncilforum.org, and I'd like to get your feedback on that when you get a chance to look at it. I posted that Monday, November 28th.
Okay.
And it basically says that it would be an ordinance that says that anybody who's invited to give an invocation would be invited by one of the elected council members. Pretty simple. That's all it says. But another note I would make to you is, you're a Bible guy. In First Samuel chapter 8 about the kings, when Israel asked for the kings, you don't want that. You don't want it.
Right.
But God gave them what they asked for, which was a bad idea. So.
Did, and I will simply, I will say, while we're on the subject, Ezekiel says that it's the responsibility of the watchman to issue the warning. And whether or not the warning is actually listened to is the responsibility of the person who is hearing it. So, I'm sure that we will move on, and I'm sure that I will be back here on various other political issues at various points down the time. Just be incredibly careful with this one, and know that if consequences do happen, they might not be political.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Renee Fuqua.